Good morning. My name is Ann Dobson, and our worship leader today is Nikki Norman. Excuse me, before we get started, I have a couple of announcements to make. Actually, one about the Foundation Fund. You all got a very lengthy memo, at least those of you who are on our mailing list, about the continuing history of the Foundation Fund, and since that went out, 5 people have donated in excess of $4,100 to the fund. So that's good, but it's not good enough. We have some dreams about this place, and what's happened lately has been a real big start toward accomplishing those dreams. So we need bucks to fix excuse me, the walkway especially, and then we'll be on our way to all kinds of things like railings and floor coverings and other railings and all that jazz. Whatever you have, we would love to have. This is not in the operating budget, and I think Finance Committee members present will say that we're about borrowed as much as we can right now. Is that right? Yes, one's nodding, the other's adjusting something. There we go. Okay, so those are our announcements. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco in Biddeford. This service is being live streamed and recorded. For those who are joining us on YouTube, we encourage you to have a candle or a chalice to light when we light ours here in a few moments. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, we love you and we are glad that you are here with us today. The theme for the month of October is compassion. We invite you to contemplate this theme with us today and carry it with you into your daily life when you leave here. Let us welcome any young members of the congregation who are with us today. May we recognize their noises and rustlings as our next generation participants in worship. We commit to be stewards of the land owned by the Wabanaki Confederation and to work toward a world that is just and thriving for the whole web of life. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you exit the sanctuary. Please silence your cell phones. And I would add, remember to turn them on when you leave here. I'm always missing calls on Sunday afternoon. There'll be a social hour in the parish hall after the service. Please join us for conversation and goodies.
again. Please join us in reciting the words to our chalice lighting. This is our sacred promise, to gather together in peace, to seek truth in love, to serve human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine. And again, welcome everyone, and a special welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. There's more than one person out there that's joining us for the first time. Beloved companions, we arrive in this place where all we have to do is breathe. We don't have to impress or convince or win over. We don't have to know the words. It's okay if we didn't read the book or pass that class or carry that title or meet that mark. We don't have to be anything except who we are. Here we rest in essence together. And to move into this communal rest, we lay down our burdens, our longing, our craving, our unmet need, our error, our regret, our sudden disappointment, our anxiety, our shame, or sheer exhaustion, our bewilderment, our bafflement, our burgeoning terror. All of this we lay down together today. As we do this, may we be filled instead with presence. May we be held in the comfort of this community. May we discover new compassion for ourselves and others. May we meet this moment with gentleness, ease, and gratitude. Gratitude for this air that we breathe together, for the questions that we ask together, for the justice we seek together, for the songs we sing together. The songs which let you guide your life. Amen. And now, please stand and join us in singing hymn number 299, Make Channels for the Streams of Love. Please turn and greet your neighbor.
generations. They held my life within their hands and didn't even know who I am or who I'm not. To the world may never show. And it's to all the very little things I owe. The way you laughed, the way you smiled, the way you looked up to the sky when the river's running dry, the way you felt when life gets lonely, or your heart hurts when you cried. We were once the very same, you and I. Yes, I've been thinking about the times that came before, about the ones that fought and died. Did they ever win the war? Did their legacy live on in a world so damn hell-bent on erasing all the progress that was meant? The way you laughed, the way you smiled, the way you look up to the sky when the river's running dry, the way you felt when life gets lonely, or your heart hurts when you cried. We were once the very same, you and I. With the courage to do what's right, the strength to shine on through the night in darkness all around. Yes, a light can still be found. Now it's up for you to choose. There's so much more that you could lose. All the little things you do or say will shape the future in some way. The way you laugh, the way you smile, the way you look up to the sky when the river's running dry, the way you felt when life gets lonely, or your heart hurts when you cry. And we were once the very same. We were once the very same. We were once the very same, you and I.
The time in our service when we come forward to express the joys and concerns that we have at this time. I invite you to come forward if you are able to express those, and if you are not, just raise your hand and we'll get the mic to you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Donna, and I lit one candle for my 3 cousins this morning. My sister and I grew up with these cousins. We were close then and are close now. My concerns are my cousin Barb and her husband, who has Alzheimer's, are leaving their home of 55 years and moving into assisted living. My cousin Chip in North Carolina has had many issues, and he's having heart surgery this week. And my cousin Judy is moving next week to Georgia to be with her children. She's in hospice now. So I'm keeping the 3 of them in my heart.
Good morning. I'd like to celebrate yesterday. It was wild. We had so much fun out there. The line was so long. There were so many people at the No Kings rally, and I just can't tell you what a great time that really was.
Hi, I'm Lori, and I love the title of the sermon of like, who taught you compassion? Last weekend, my sister ran into somebody I've been looking for a couple of decades. So 42 years ago, I had the most amazing high school teacher, and his lessons were just mind-blowing for me. He's someone who really taught me compassion, and now I can be in touch with him again.
I just want to light one for. Okay, I just want to light one for my cousin Jessica. I haven't seen her in a long time. My uncle's wife, her mother, committed suicide, and it's been over 20 years since anyone in my family's seen her. So I just want her to know that we all still think about her and love her.
Hello, my name is Judith, or Judy. Everybody calls me Judy. So I have a sorrow. I'm going to cry. Okay, I have a sorrow. And I would like to ask for prayers because, yesterday I was visiting my best friend, and I accidentally left a bottle of my medicine uncapped, and her dog ate the whole bottle. The dog is okay, so long as I heard yesterday, of course, she's totally upset with me, and I don't blame her. She took the dog to the vet. She called me yesterday and said it looks like she's going to be okay. The dog's name is Luna. So I'd like prayers for Luna to heal, and hopefully prayers that I can make amends and make my friendship heal.
Yeah, I'm Reverend Nikki, and I'm lighting a candle today. Many of you know Lawrence Miller, who has been in our pulpit from time to time over the years. Lawrence lost his husband quite unexpectedly earlier this year, and today is his husband's birthday. And it's a very tough day for Lawrence. So keep him in your thoughts. Send him a prayer.
Did you want the microphone up here? You had your hand up. I'll come with it. Just a minute. We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you, dear.
My name is Melissa. I go by Scout, and I just wanted to express the joy, and you get the visual. We have the family here today, and I couldn't be more happy to have Thomas's parents and my son for the weekend, and it's been just joyous.
Thanks, Melissa. We'll try not to call. Thank you very much. Is anyone else needing the mic up here? No. Okay. If you do yell. On the way back, I'd like to say that our friend Trevor has been in the ER at Maine Med. I'm not sure if he got out last night or not. They can't figure out what's wrong with him, but he fainted and is having severe back pains and tests. And I lit that candle for the joy of what's going on around here. Was it Friday morning? I think it was. I was up in the archives working. We do have an archives. If any of you are new and want to see it, let me know. And Paul, right here, Paul, was in here practicing. And the painters were out back scraping and painting, and I thought, this is it. This is as close as I'm going to get to Nirvana. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. And we lit the last candle, of course, for any joys and concerns that we still have in our hearts.
And please join me in an attitude of prayer. Spirit of compassion, be with us today. Be here with us today. In a world where it's sometimes hard to tell truth from fiction, be with us and give us compassion for a world that is in desperate need of compassion. And give us the courage to face what needs to be changed. Spirit of compassion, named or nameless, within us and among us, teach us to tend to ourselves and tend to each other. May we tend to tenderness as patiently as seeds in spring. May our hearts be soft enough to feel another's ache, strong enough to hold that ache with grace. When we fail, may we begin again gently with compassion for ourselves. May this be our hope and our vow to practice love, to practice compassion until it takes root. Amen and blessed be. And those last words were written by Reverend Dr. David Breeden.
Thank you. The reading this morning is by John O'Donohue. He's pretty popular around here. I've read several pieces that he wrote. I could tell. It takes great courage and grace to feel the call to awaken. And it takes greater courage and more grace still to actually submit to the call, to risk yourself into these interior spaces where there is very often little protection. It takes a great person to creatively inhabit her own mind and not turn her mind into a destructive force that can ransack her life. You need compassion for yourself, particularly in American society, because many people here identify themselves through the models and modules of psychology that inevitably categorize them as a syndrome. Lovely people feel that their real identity is working on themselves, and some work on themselves with such harshness. Like a demented gardener who won't let the soil settle for anything to grow, they keep raking, tearing away the nurturing clay from their own heart. And then they're surprised that they feel so empty and vacant. Self-compassion is paramount. When you are compassionate with yourself, you trust in your soul, which you let guide your life. Your soul knows the geography of your destiny better than you do. And if you will join me, please, in hymn 1031. It's in the blue hymnal. Thank you.
please be seated. You may notice I bring my order of service with me when I come up here because I've been known to get things out of order. So I call it's a reflection on compassion from our ancestors to ourselves. And as I was beginning to prepare this sermon, or this reflection, I was taken back to when I was at Chime, which is the small seminary that I attended and where I was ordained. We were in the middle of a unit about I think about prejudice and innate prejudice. And I remember one of the women asked, what can I do? What can I do when feelings come up that I don't want? I don't want to think this way. I don't want to feel this way. And she later identified it as what she thought was ancestral. It was an ancestral thing, an ancestral memory. And as she worked through that, it was very, very interesting. She said at one point, she raised her hand and she said, I feel stirring in my DNA. And so we're definitely the product of our ancestors, but we can change things when we want to. If we want to. So, and this reflection is actually going to be a little shorter than I normally do. I hope that's okay with everybody. And because we're going to be, I have a guided meditation today. So, long before written language or modern civilization, our ancestors gathered around fires, shared food, tended to the sick and the old. In those communities, compassion wasn't a luxury or a philosophical concept. It was a survival strategy. A wounded hunter could not survive without someone to carry him or her. A child without care could not grow into an adult. Even in the very harshest conditions, our ancestors chose to care for one another, not just out of necessity, because of something deeper stirred within them, a sense of shared humanity, of interdependence from their own ancestors, I think. Compassion, then, is one of the oldest human instincts. It predates religion, philosophy, and even culture. I believe it's in our bones. Archaeological evidence shows that prehistoric humans sometimes lived for years with disabling injuries or illnesses, and evidence that others must have supported and sustained them. These weren't transactional. They were rooted in empathy and recognition that every life had value. That really moves me, even when it could no longer contribute in the conventional terms. And I believe we are born with the capacity for compassion. I think there is actually strong evidence that it's deeply rooted in our biology and evolution. Compassion is not a random cultural invention. It's wired into us through millions of years of evolution. And what I found, this is really interesting to me, that studies in neuroscience and psychology and even genetics suggest that the human brain is equipped with systems that support empathy, caregiving, and emotional connection. Just a little science piece here. Mirror neurons, for example, allow us to feel what others feel. When we see someone else in pain, our brains activate in ways that mirror their suffering. The hormone oxytocin, often called the love hormone, plays a key role in bonding and increases feelings of trust and empathy. It helps mothers care for their infants and also promotes pro-social behavior in wider relationships. From an evolutionary standpoint, compassion helped human groups survive. Again, by caring for the vulnerable and cooperating, early humans were more likely to thrive than those who didn't. Research shows that infants as young as 6 months old can recognize distress in others and may try to comfort them. Toddlers will often offer toys to crying peers or show concern when someone appears hurt. These behaviors suggest that the seeds of compassion are there from the beginning, not taught but innate. However, how compassion develops depends heavily on the environment. When capacity is inborn, the expression of compassion can be either encouraged or it can be suppressed by upbringing, culture, or trauma, or social norms. In many ways, compassion is both a gift we're born with, and as Thomas said in this song, it's a muscle. It's a gift, but it is a choice that we need to keep making. And understanding that gives us power to nurture it in ourselves, to teach it to others, and to build a world where it's not just possible, but natural. Think of that, to nurture it in ourselves, teach it to others, and build a world where it is not just possible, but natural. As societies evolved, compassion expanded beyond kin groups and tribes. Spiritual traditions across the world, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, and many others, placed compassion at the very heart of moral life. Love thy neighbor, do unto others, relieve the suffering of all beings. I discovered at Chime that every major religion, and probably some of the minor religions, have some version of the Golden Rule. These teachings echoed what our ancestors already knew, and that is that our well-being is tied to the well-being of others. But in modern times, compassion sometimes feels harder to access. The noise of competition, the rush of productivity, the divisions we create, these all threaten to dull our instincts to care. Still, it endures. And that, to me, says hope in capital letters. Still, it endures. In quiet moments, in crises, in glimpses of kindness among strangers, we see it, that ancient thread pulling us toward one another. Compassion isn't weakness. It's not pity. It's the courage to feel someone else's pain and the willingness to act. It's a legacy passed down from our ancestors, not as a burden, but as a gift, one that allows us to remember who we are and imagine who we can become. In choosing compassion, we return to something timeless. We become part of a lineage that believed in the face of hardship that we are better together. How many times have we seen that here in our own congregation? In doing so, we carry that flame of compassion forward for the sake of those who came before us and for those who will follow. Amen and blessed be. And I'd like to invite you now to a time of meditation. I did not write this meditation. This is from a Reverend Michelle Collins, but it took me back to my days in Arizona and really touched me. So I invite you, let's take 3 good deep breaths. Put your feet on the floor, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Imagine yourself as a tiny seed that has just cracked open in the desert. Feel the harsh sun beating down on your tender shoot. The ground beneath you is hard, unforgiving. But notice, there is shade where you are. Shade. A creosote bush stands nearby, her branches reaching over you. Feel the blessed coolness of her shadow. In this shelter, you can grow without burning. Your first leaves unfurl in safety. The older plant asks nothing in return for this gift. She simply offers what she has: protection. Through her roots, she shares precious water, nutrients gathered over decades of desert survival. You drink deeply of this generosity. Feel yourself growing stronger in her care. Seasons pass in your imagination. You grow taller, your own roots deepening. One day, you notice another seed sprouting nearby, vulnerable and small, as you once were. Now you understand. You extend your own branches, offering shade to this new life. The compassion you received, you now provide. This is how the desert blooms. Not through competition, but through quiet care. One generation sheltering the next. Ancient wisdom passed through root and branch. Now take a deep breath and slowly return to this room. Feel your feet on the ground and your back against the pew back. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and remember that you too have both received shelter and can offer it. Part of the endless cycle of desert tenderness. And now let's just take a few minutes of silence.
And as we leave the silence, take another good, deep, cleansing breath. And in your heart, give yourself a hug. When we gather as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts and our spirits, our time and energy, our talents and our skills to support the work of this church, not just within our walls, but out in the larger community as well. We also bring the gift of generosity, giving what we can so that the work of this church may continue. As always, half of our offering today will be set out into the larger community to support the work of an agency or an organization that's making a positive difference in the world. This month, our offering will be collected for the Minister's Discretionary Fund, which is used to help folks in need. And if you're watching from home, your offering may be made using the Give button at the top of our webpage, which is uuchurchsacobiddeford.org. I would bookmark that one so I don't have to type it every week. Checks may be mailed to 60 School Street in Saco, 04072. Please be generous as the ushers wait upon you. Please stand. And please join us in singing hymn number 101, Abide With Me, one of my favorites.
please join me in the words for the extinguishing of our chalice. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. Please be seated.
Excuses are easy when everything's on the line. These Montana magpies with their black, their white feathers sitting side by side, bring an unknown offering, something we should try. Is he a monster or a martyr? Depends on who you ask, but once it's done you can't take it back. It's hard to hide the hate when there's no love to show. How can I nail a man up for the color of his skin? Knock him down, make him pay for my father's sin. And I am starting to see we are all the color of the scars that we keep. I'll show you when you're older, my father always said, but he never did get old enough for that. Every Sunday afternoon, denim shirt, cowboy hat, out in the sun, throwing shadows in an axe. There's a tool for every job, a job for every man. Be careful what you put in your hands. How can I keep my mind open if my eyes are closed? It's hard to hide the hate when there's no love to show. How can I nail a man up for the color of his skin? Knock him down, make him pay for my father's sins. Oh, I am starting to see we are all the color of the scars that we keep. Times are harder and it's harder to heal when where you were born decides what you fear. It's time to be a brother, not my father's son. I was born to be a bigot, but that don't mean that I'm one. I'll put my boots on just the same. When the day is done, I pray for you, my son. How can I keep my mind open if my eyes are closed? It's hard to hide the hate when there's no love to show. How can I nail a man up for the color of his skin? Knock him down, make him pay for my father's sin. And I am starting to see we are all the color of the scars that we keep. We are all the color of the scars that we keep.
That was perfect. For closing words today, I'm using the words of Reverend Dr. David Breeden, and we've used these before, but I love these, so here we go again. Let's be the welcome we crave. Hearts open, arms outstretched. Let's embody radical welcome, unquestioning love. Let's be the welcome we crave, hearing deeply voices and hearts. Let's be the welcome we crave, enriching, understanding. Let's embody the community that we crave. Go in peace. Our service is now concluded, and I invite you to remain seated for the postlude.